Snap. The throw. Incomplete. Yes. We're gonna win this game. Oh my God! It's redemption. 3 redemption, baby. Cam Chancellor comes back to make the play.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, I wanted to make this video because I never really created a post-game reaction to our Seahawks win over the Patriots, and it would be bad of me not to post all my thoughts about that amazing win that we had, 31-24 over the Patriots in Foxborough. And I have to admit it, I was wrong. I picked against my Seahawks to lose by a field goal, but I will admit I'm totally happy that I was wrong. I really didn't give our own team enough credit that they'd be able to pull this off. I'd said all the reasons why I thought we'd lose this game. Short week, tough game against the Bills on Monday night, Patriots off of their bye week in Gillette Stadium, all those reasons. But I'm so proud of our team. They got it done and just kept fighting, kept making plays. I think the things that really stand out to me from that game were with CJ Prosise stepping up, we started seeing a running game emerge. We were able to get long extended drives. Really the one that impressed me the most was the one where Patriots had just scored with about a minute left in the first half, and we came all the way to score a touchdown to finish off the first half. And very Super Bowl 49-esque the way we did that. But that was really impressive. The offense really stepped up. And keeping the Pats to a few 3-and-outs on defense. We had been complaining all week and the last couple of weeks about how we'd just been not being able to get off the field on third downs, and we were able to do that this time. And man, how good was Cam Chancellor? Having Cam back in, I've said before, he's on the defense, he's my favorite player, and he's been out for 4 games, and here he was being right back into his role as the enforcer, the leader, the captain, the identity of this defense, of this team. And man, he made a difference. I think he single-handedly saved this game on multiple occasions. He stripped Edelman the football, which led to a Sherman fumble recovery, which led to a score. And at that time, we were down with the Patriots driving, so it was huge. Made lots of tackles. He was part of that, that hit on Gronkowski. We had Chancellor in coverage, batted the ball away, and then Earl Thomas, like a missile, came flying into Gronk's chest and just completely bam, pounded him and took him out of the game for a while. And as it turns out, his injury is a little more serious than just what happened on the field of that game. He got knocked out of this game this week against the 49ers. So, punctured lung, I'm hearing reports of. So that hit by Thomas was brutal. And even Gronk said later on in multiple interviews how that was one of the hardest hits he's ever had. And you never want to see a guy hurt. That wasn't ever the thing. I just admired the fact that he hit him fairly, cleanly, and Gronk even said so. But man, that's talking about having your tandem, best safeties in the league back together. Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas. Love it for the rest of the season. Just going to scare receivers into coming across that middle. And then, of course, the goal line stand. Chancellor was huge on that one. I'll just review what happened there. They were first and goal at about the 2-yard line. Brady, quarterback sneak, he gets about a yard. Then it's a blunt for try to get the dive over the top. What happens? Chancellor comes from the edge, the right edge, grabs his legs before he can take off over the top, holds him back to allow the rest of the team to push him back there. That's second down. Third down, Brady tries to do a quarterback sneak to the left side, fumbles the snap, lucky to get the ball back, sets up 4th down, and of course the play everybody's talking about, Gronkowski left side against Cam Chancellor on a fade route. A good no call there with Gronkowski engaging first contact against Chancellor. You can clearly see that he's initiating contact, and then they just basically kind of tussle up. Arms are wrapped up in each other, and then Gronkowski tries to make a leap for the ball, and he can't get it. I think you put anybody else out there at that moment of the game, and Gronkowski probably scores that touchdown. But having Chancellor, our strongest, biggest guy in coverage there, handling that one, played it beautifully. And what was cool about that play was they had actually ran that as the final play in practice before heading over to New England. And the play, apparently, I think he actually tipped the ball in practice, but it practically ended up exactly a carbon copy of what played out as the final play of the game as far as New England was concerned. And pretty cool that that's how they it played out in practice. And man, so many ironies about this game. New England traveling left to right, ball at the 1 yard line, ends on a loss on a pass play with their score at 24, just like the Seahawks in Super Bowl 49. And I'm not going to say that I called this redemption in my jubilation of the win. Of course, a regular season game doesn't negate a Super Bowl loss. It never will. Even winning a Super Bowl later doesn't erase that one you missed. Unless maybe we get a rematch with the Patriots in the Super Bowl and we beat them. Maybe we can call that redemption. But, either way, it's an important win. It's a huge win, and it's an unexpected upset win over a team that everybody pretty much was picking to defeat us. So it's a huge game, and of course, in this tight NFC race, every victory is important. But more importantly, this just sets up the tone for the second half of this season. So a couple of pros and cons looking at this game. I loved the win. I loved how we showed up with those good things I said, but it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the word. So on defense, my only couple of issues with it was 3rd and longs. We had New England on a 3rd and 25, I believe, and a 3rd and 10 at crucial points in the game. And I don't know how they let guys get behind them to get big gains, to get first downs there. Particularly the 3rd and 25. I think Deshaun Shedd was on coverage, and Edelman just flat out outran Shedd and got a 27 or 28 yards on the play. And that just drives you crazy, So they got to do better than that. They can't be giving up long 3rd downs like that. They can't let guys get behind them that way. So they got to clean that up. And of course, they did give up 3 rushing touchdowns and a couple of long drives. I'd like to see that cleaned up a little bit more. We pride ourselves on being a great run defense, so you never like to see a running back get that many points. We got off the field better this time, but I'd like to see it happen a little bit more consistently and not give up long drives like that. So on offense, while we were spectacular, Russell Wilson was great. Baldwin had a heck of a game and not too much to complain about. However, conversely, we had a lot of 3rd and shorts on offense. And man, I don't know how many times it felt like we were 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. And instead of just getting, if you have 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, just get 1 or 2 more yards past that and keep the drive alive. Instead, we'd go for like these long 10 or 15 yard passes, and then it'd be incomplete, we'd just sack. And I don't understand, why we don't just design plays to get just enough to get that first down. Like put Jimmy out there, turn around, and throw the ball to him. But so hopefully we can convert 3rd and shorts. I mean, you got to not miss out on those opportunities. We couldn't finish some of our drives. Some of these drives were, right down to the goal line, and we left points on the board. We won by 7, but we could have easily won by 17, 18 points, 19 points. We couldn't finish some of these drives. They had to end in field goals when we should have had touchdowns. I think we actually did have a touchdown when CJ Procise reached that ball over the goal line, challenged it, didn't get it. But that might cost us down the line in a really tight game. So we've got to convert those touchdowns when we are that close. Special teams were really good for the most part, except we did miss another PAT. I don't know what's up with that, but I believe it was partially blocked. So Hauschka did miss one, and we went for two. Let's talk about that. So at the last offensive play of the game, we'd scored a touchdown to go up by 7. And I was thinking the whole time, okay, let's kick the PAT. We'll go up by 8. That forced the Patriots to have to score a touchdown and have to get a 2-point conversion, which of course, is not easy to do, especially against our goal line defense. But they went for 2, and a lot of people, after I looked at the situation, I thought, okay, well that makes sense because you make 2, then you go up by 9. That's now a 2-score game. It essentially almost seals the win for Seattle because they're going to have to score and a touchdown. Side kick to get the ball back. Make it pretty tough with how much time was remaining in the game. So it totally made sense after the fact. I think me is just a little bit more conservative, take the points kind of guy. I think I was feeling the 8 points would have been just fine. But I understand the risk. I understand the gamble. A lot of people came up to me later, why did they go for 2? I don't get it. Why did they go for 2? It does make sense because you can imagine it would be almost game over. But they didn't get it, so as it was, it set up that final exciting drive. So I like it though. Aggressive call on the road. We'll see if we're ever in that situation again and see if they do it again if that happens. But anyway, moving forward. I did do a Keys to the Game video about the Seahawks-Eagles matchup with Philadelphia, and you can check that out on my channel as well as our rap battle. So, but just some changes here going on. Everybody's heard about the Christine Michael release. They did release him. He got picked up actually by the Packers, so we're going to see him in another uniform in a few weeks here when we go to Lambeau to face the Packers. Some people were upset by him being gone. They felt that he deserved to stay on the roster, but my feeling on Christine Michael is this: I was not a fan of his in the previous stint with the Seahawks when he was drafted and all the years he was with us. He came back after he was released the first time, came back, and I thought he made some market improvements, fundamental things, just, protecting the ball. He just seemed to have a little bit better attitude about his role as a running back. However, this season, while he has been the guy, because everybody else basically was gone from injury, he did a pretty decent job as our number 1 running back, averaging, I think, around 4 yards a carry. But I think also there's been a little bit of a kind of getting too used to what we have mindset, and people have forgotten what Rawls was like last year. We just saw a glimpse of CJ Procise, and all of a sudden everybody's just like, whoa, CJ is great. And it's like, well, he's good, but he's just better than Michael. His running style is better. He actually runs through contact, breaks tackles, catches the ball exquisitely. And so I just think when you get so used to the Christine Michael bar, suddenly the CJ Procise bar seems, wow, look how amazing he is. And it's kind of the same thing with Thomas Rawls. People have forgotten, I think, about how much of a beast he was. You remember the comparisons with him in Beast Mode last year, calling him Baby Beast and all that stuff. So my point being is that I'm not disappointed to see this change in releasing Christine Michael. Sometimes he wouldn't hit the hole. Sometimes he'd fall too easy. It's like he's just running so hard, fast forward that it's like you just get a slap on his ankle, and he'd fall down. Sometimes he'd fall down on his own feet, tripping on his own cuts, on his own acceleration. So it'll be I'm looking forward to seeing yards after contact from both CJ Procise and Thomas Rawls. I'm big time excited about Rawls. And I don't expect him to suddenly go crazy and get 200 yards in his first game back, but I expect him to, as the season reaches to its end, that he's going to get better and better and better, and we'll remember why we loved seeing him run last year so much. So, and on top of that, with the whole running back situation, it only gets better. So you guys know Troymaine Pope, who made such an awesome impact in preseason, was released. I believe he was picked up by the Jets, but then he got released again, and we scooped him up, put him on our practice squad last week, and now he has been activated to the active roster. So Troymaine Pope might even see some action against the Eagles tomorrow. So, we now have 4 backs, if you include Alex Collins, who really has not done much. I don't think we've seen his potential, but he did have that fumble in the Patriots game, so not been going too well for him. But so now you can see why we don't have room for Christine Michael, because we got Rawls, CJ Procise, Troymaine Pope, and Alex Collins. 4 backs right there, and all of them, particularly the 3, with lots of promise. So, it's what's great about this team right now, and is why I kept telling people when we were struggling, having those tough stretches with Russell's injury and all that stuff, people actually writing off the Seahawks, saying the season's over. I could bring up these comments by people who have said the season's over, and I was like saying, hold on. And of course, we are past the midpoint part of the season, and as I've always said, the Seahawks, under Pete Carroll, they've always been a finish-strong team. The second half season, November, December, January, into the playoffs, Seattle owns that time of the year. I forget the number. It's some crazy number like 26-7 in the months of November, December, or something like that. So Seattle is always catching their stride at this point, and I knew we would. And I just, like I said, we had to weather this. I said we were a ship in a storm with pieces coming off. All we do to survive the storm, stay, in the hunt, and then make it back to port, and then we'll be getting lots of pieces back, and then coming out strong again. And it's exactly what's happening. We're getting Luke Wilson back, Bradley Sowell's coming back, Thomas Rawls all back active this week, and then Michael Bennett probably next week comes back. So it's like we're getting a whole new facelift. This team suddenly having all our pieces back couldn't happen at a better time. So we're only getting better, we're getting faster, and we're getting stronger. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what happens for the remainder of the season. But of course, first things first, got to take care of the Eagles. All right, so I know I'm running long here, long-winded, a lot to talk about, but I'm excited, so I can't help it. I do want to review my keys, what I'd said about the keys to the game last week and how we did with that. So I had 5 keys to the New England game last week. I said the defense must limit third down conversions below 50%. Patriots were 6 of 10, which is 60%, so they were pretty good, good enough to win. I said they got to keep the Patriots out of the end zone. They did rush for 3 touchdowns, but Brady had no passing touchdowns. And he had interceptions, by the way. So we kept him out, and we did force him to kick a field goal here and there instead of getting all touchdowns, so it was enough to win the game. I said Russ must be awesome, and he was. That the offense would go as he goes, and man, did he go. And while he didn't really find Jimmy as I thought he might be the key, I knew that they would try to shut him down, which for the most part they kept him pretty contained. But man, did he open things up for everybody else. Lockett, Baldwin, Richardson all had great catches. Procise, they spread the ball around. We have to win the turnover battle. We did. We had 1 interception, Brady's first. Actually, the whole Patriots team first interception all season came at the hands of Seattle. First pick, and we had the fumble recovery. So we won the turnover battle. And finally, the bottom line, I said we had to score at least 28 points to win the game, and we won. We scored 31 and won it. So there you go. The keys pretty much all nailed last week. So now I'm going to go into my scores. I know this is going long. I appreciate you hanging with me. So last week's picks, I didn't do so well last week. Here's what I did. Here's my predictions of how the games were going to go on last week's show. All right, Packers at Titans, going with the Packers. Broncos at the Saints. Saints on roll, going with the Saints. Rams at the Jets. Jets in New York. Falcons at the Eagles in Philly. Bears at the Bucks. going with the Bears. Vikings at the Redskins, going for the Redskins. Chiefs at the Panthers, going with the Chiefs. See, Texans at the Jaguars, going with the Texans. Dolphins at Chargers in that one. 49ers at the Cardinals. 49ers suck. And finally, Cowboys at the Steelers. Cross my fingers and hope the Steelers can give the Cowboys their second loss of the season. And finally, our game. Sticking with my 27-24 Patriots over my Seahawks. All right, so I was below 500 picking against my own team, but I'm happy I was wrong. So let me go through real quick and go through the picks. My predictions for week 11 this week. Bills at the Bengals, going with the Bengals. Steelers at the Browns, Steelers. Ravens at Cowboys, come on Ravens. Jaguars at the Lions, Lions. Titans at the Colts, picking the Titans. They had a good game last week against the Packers. Bucks at the Chiefs. Chiefs bounce back, going with the Chiefs. Cardinals at the Vikings. Come on, Vikings. Keep these Cardinals down. Going with the Vikings. Bears at Giants. Giants on a roll, picking the Giants. The Dolphins at the Rams. Need a little help from our AFC East fellas. Going with the Dolphins. Patriots at the 49ers. Gronkowski's out. 49ers almost beat the Cardinals last week, but Patriots are going to win. Packers at the Redskins. Packers are sliding. Redskins are doing well, picking the Redskins. Texans at the Raiders. Raiders, potentially my pick for the AFC champions this year, going with the Raiders. And finally, Eagles at our Seahawks. Picking the Seahawks, baby. I think we blow things up this week. So, again, check out my Keys to the Game with Philadelphia video about that. Okay, finally to wrap up. Speaking of Philadelphia, she is coming to Seattle for the first time to watch the game with a whole contingency of fans. So if you see her, please treat her nicely. She's a very cool fan, so give her a nice Seattle warm welcome, and then we'll let our team do all the butt kicking. All right. If you want to meet her and you happen to be down in the Seattle area during game time or pregame, she's going to be down at the Pyramid Ale House around 10 o'clock to 11. I'm planning to go meet up with her sometime around 11 or shortly thereafter, so you can meet both of us at the Pyramid Ale House near the stadium. And she'll also be dropping by the Hawk Alley tailgate before that, so you might catch her there as well. So just a quick reminder, make sure you check out our Eminem rap battle that she and I did. We released it yesterday. Hope you enjoy that, and put in your comments who won. And finally, of course, check out her Philadelphia's channel, subscribe. She's a cool fan. So on a final note, I had been mentioning to this why this has been a tough week. So we had a loss in the family. Our nephew, Jerome Jimenez, passed away from a 2.5-year battle with cancer last weekend. And so it's been particularly rough, especially for my wife's side of the family. And today is the funeral for him, so it's going to be an emotional, tough day today. And it has been a tough week, really last couple of weeks since we have been visiting him almost every day leading up to that point. So I'm going to do a video. I created a video, a tribute about his courageous battle against cancer for the last 2.5 years, and I'm going to post it on YouTube here, and I'll put the link on this at the end of this video once it's up, and I hope you guys will check it out. It's very inspirational, and while he lost the battle, he showed that there's a way that you can fight through cancer with dignity, with positivity, and not let it truly beat you. So we'll miss Jerome. It's going to be a very tough day to get through, but I know we will, and appreciate your thoughts and your patience this week. That's why it's been a little crazy with my schedule trying to get these videos out. But anyway, we'll get through today, and then tomorrow be doing my thing, getting in the game and live streaming on Facebook and sharing it with all you guys. Okay, so that's it, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Go Hawks.